Hi guys to everyone, I'm Ada from Poison Rock, and today we're gonna dig a little bit in the folk, like we all know, I love it. And today we have Sean from Ozzy and Jupiter. First of all, Sean, how are you?
I am I'm a musician from Ohio. Um, I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
And I do all the instruments in OC and the Jupiter. It's my
yeah.
project. The only thing I do not do is the cello, which
I don't remember they're involved.
my friend Chris Cacophonics, sorry,
Yeah,
is uh, is the cellist in
yeah.
this band. So
So of course, as a first, just like a granted question is, but I have to ask it because of course it's people always want to know how Ozzy and Jupiter born. So how the project started, Mary.
it's well, the first album was Hall of the Wolf,
Yeah.
and that was a bunch of songs I've written over a time period since. There's a couple songs that I wrote when I was even a teenager in the '90s, and
Yeah.
that I kind of just that didn't have any structure before, but I gave the song structure. Like
Yeah.
I guess the project started around 2014, 2015,
Yeah.
but I should say fully in 2015 because that's when I recorded the Hall of the Wolf.
Yeah.
I just didn't release it until 2016.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So you always started like because of course it's the name as well. I know there is a particular meaning, Ozzy and Jupiter.
yeah, it's named after my dogs, which
That's
they're
amazing.
outside right now. Yeah,
That is, it's amazing.
yeah,
Naming as like the because as well show like a love for the animals and I think as well for the nature
yeah,
because usually folk or there is a lot of you can say a subgenre. There is neo Nordic folk, neo folk. So I don't know. I would just like say like folk because it's better
yeah,
because in your music I heard a lot of influences. So especially like we saying before to you, like based in United States and not in the northern countries. So how do you think? I mean, how do you perceive your sound more? Like which mainly influences? Because of course there is a lot of folk in the United States as well. Like if we take for example the shamanism of Native American, which is a folklore as
yeah.
well.
I'm really into Native American folklore, and I'm still
I'm
learning
really
a lot
good.
about stuff.
Yeah,
It's this project is basically a spiritual path for me, and
yeah,
I'm learning new stuff along the way, and
okay,
it's not just like the Nordic folk has a big influence, but it also Celtic,
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah,
some Slavic, some Native American. I'm even into the like the Italian and Greek stuff too,
yeah.
and
The Latin, yeah, the Romans and
uh,
Greeks.
yeah, it's just all in a whole. There's a lot of magic out there. There's a lot of stuff that hides in the
There is
nooks and
yeah.
shadows.
So we can say that spirituality has a lot of influence in the
Yeah,
composition of the music.
yeah. Uh, The Wicker Man's a big movie that influences a lot of that because I grew up watching that, like The Wicker Man and the
Yeah.
Hobbit
Okay.
cartoons in the '80s, and a lot of that stuff kind of sparked that, along with my grandfather reading Icelandic sagas and old
Yeah.
German tales to me,
Yeah.
Polish tales, and my he also took me on hikes as a kid, so I always felt connected to nature. Like right
Yeah.
now, I'm starting jujitsu so I could get connected to other forms of consciousness in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's another lifelong journey I'd like to take that's not musically. So
Yeah. Yeah. Because from what I heard, it's like really like um the sound is really like a spiritual. I don't know, like spiritual journey itself.
yeah,
From each album is different, so that's why I want to go to speak a little about each albums here and there because of course like the first one for example also Wolf like being the first album that you released, how was back then? I mean, the your objective, your thoughts about releasing it. It came
Uh,
out what you expected.
I so I play bass in front two metal bands, like a doom band called Witch Helm and a black metal
So
band called
okay,
Behemoth. And
so there are influences from the metal scene as well, of course.
well, yeah, but I'm been more into folk music than I am
Okay,
metal. Even though I love metal, like I've done it my whole life. I was in hardcore bands in the early
okay,
2000s and death metal bands and stuff. I connect more with folk music because
yeah, I
I've
agree.
always been into Towns Van Zandt, Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan,
I
uh,
agree.
and then I like Italian Goblin. That's a big
Yeah,
influence,
yeah, I know them. I know them. Yeah, yeah, of
and
course.
I'm uh, Ulver is actually a big influence. They're what is it? Shadows of the Sun really moved me when that album came out. I really love that album. It's just very atmospheric. And then you have Dead Can Dance.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with Dead Can Dance.
yeah, they played a lot of influences for some
Yeah,
folk band. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, and which is the topic that you, um, if there is a topic, you speak mainly on also of the wolf. Wolf.
Yeah. Sorry, I go on tangents
No, it's fine.
sometimes.
I mean, this is the beauty of of talking in an interview. There is no strict line. Like there is no, we can go here and there. So,
Yeah.
so what about? I mean, there is a main topic that you wanted to talk about and spread with the all of also with the wolf.
So, Halls of the Wolf is it was a bunch of recordings. Some of them that I redone since I was like a kid. I just gave it more structure because I didn't
Okay.
know song structure as well as I did in the 90s
Yeah.
as I did now. Um, I was just some kid playing in the basement on a really broken
Yeah.
down acoustic. And I. It's just a bunch of songs that I wanted to help me collaborate with, my spiritual self. I had no clue it was gonna go anywhere. Like I've been in all these
Yeah.
other bands that I tried hard to make it places, and I created a folk project for myself that actually is bigger than all my other bands. It just
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Like
Because it
this,
became yeah.
it's
Because
weird.
yeah, I think that it's more like it's getting like more people are getting more into spirituality awakening in this period. I think so. That's why they reach out a lot of folk music out there. I'm one of them. So that's why for meditation as well for like a journey itself because your music, especially for me, speaking about me, the album Nordling Runarskog, I don't know the pronunciation right, played a
Yeah.
lot in some of my personal healing journey. But before going through that album, there is another one in between, which is the Stav, I don't
Well, well, in between Halls of the Wolf and Nordliege is Uthling Howl.
okay,
That's the one
okay,
with
yeah,
Balder.
Whistling, how,
Yeah, it's it, those two titles literally are a collaboration of a bunch of different. It's not. It's so some of the titles are a mixture of Gaelic and Nordic, and like I just kind of
yeah,
made my own titles so I
yeah,
could have it my own. But
yeah,
it still gave that northern shamanistic feel to it,
yeah,
So I just try to make it my own. Some people don't like it. Some people like that I did that, but some people are like, that's not correct. Well, I don't care what they think.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
creating this for me, not them.
because I
And,
think,
and,
yeah,
and if it helps other people along their journey, that's just an added plus. Like I think that's great. I love it when music actually moves people. I get moved by music all the
yeah,
time. So
and which we can say for the journey of this through all this music, so through all this release of the album since the beginning, how can we say even in the composition itself, how it changed in all these years?
yeah. Oh, and the
the composition, we can say the structure, for example. So I'm speaking about more a technical side, but as well as more a spiritual side as well. Like it was a spiritual journey to you as well, all composing all these albums as well.
It's more of a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Uthling Hall and Nordlige Runeskaga are. There's definitely a Wardruna influence on there.
Okay.
Because there's definitely a Einar influence. He's a great
Okay.
musician.
Yeah.
There's still that heavy Goblin and Ulver influence, but it's because of that resurgence of the Wardruna
Yeah.
dark folk thing.
Yes.
Is that a lot of people are connecting more with that because that's what's really big, like Helung and Wardruna and Sawillo and
Solo, yeah. Solo, yeah.
and all those bands, which they're all great. Knitland's amazing too.
Nikla, yeah, I agree. They are a ritual itself, a cult.
And then my personal favorite out of all of them, I love them all, but I love Ludwig's band Forndom.
Yeah.
Forndom's amazing. I literally meditate on his stuff, like if I'm his stuff and Anila's stuff, who I did a collaboration with on the newer album.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, but as well that I mean I'm also so since I'm doing specific study because I'm a naturopath mainly, not interviewer. So being a naturopath, I got influenced by different type, for example, of shamanism. There is the Northern shamanism, which is a bit another story, and then there is the American shamanism, but as well there is the Russian side, like we saw from Nitland. You know, there are all these type of different.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, just like because I'm not an expert as well, so just thought in your opinion, which you think is like which are the difference about all this type of a spirit? We can say not properly shamanism, but like spirituality, because I think the Northern spirituality and the Native American are different as well. So, if how do you live it? Like, how do you see it?
I think it's all connected. It's just different sides of the world connecting to the same energy source, or energies, whatever. Like in my head, it's like an infinite theory, like things intertwine. You can get really sci-fi with it if you really want to.
And about the type of instrument you usually use, which are, you can say, the main one that play a particular role in the instrument. No, I would say the instrument that you play, which one play a particular and significant role for you in the composition of the song.
Well, acoustic guitar.
Okay.
That's what I mainly go. For Uthling Hall and Nordlige, I do play Talharpa.
It's hard to play.
Well, I actually just I actually gave my Talharpa to the Federation of Northern Traditions here in America, to Wisdom of Odin channel. Jacob's a friend of mine. I just donated it to that group because they're building their hall, and I was like, if I need to use it for recording, I'll get it back from you, because I rather so I play it okay, but I just play one tuning. I don't play a bunch of different tunings like Anthony does in Nitland, and the guys in Skald or
Skald,
they're or Einar, like they're way more proficient than I am, and all this stuff. I'm just kind of going along and doing what my heart and my
that's the main thing as well. Yeah, that's the main thing as well. And because of course, like I was saying before, a lot of people are not a lot, but some people are having sort of awakening these days, and they are looking for a lot of bands but they like go straight, to Wardruna and Heilung. And I'm trying to let them know there is more than that. Not because I don't like them.
More.
Yeah, of course, there are Skjaldbraten, and Nebula new project. I mean, Skjaldbraten, Runahild.
Amazing.
Nebula, yes, it's like a ritual. It's all a ritual. I think every every band, every song is like a ritual. And I would like to, which album or song, I don't say not song, many album, because song is too specific. Which album do you would like to advise to, just people that are getting to the folk or whatever in a spiritual journey, and they say, oh, I like us in Jupiter, I want to start with them.
Okay. Oh, what album to start with us?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We can help more to this spiritual awakening.
I.
Yeah, it's not
So,
easy. Like I told you, I want just an inspiration for myself, so I found out for
yeah.
myself. But of course, there are people that maybe need a hint. Like, look, I did it with this, so you
If you
can
want,
try.
if you want something more shamanistic, I go with Nordliege. Um, because Uthling Helen, well, both of those albums kind of coincide with each other. It's like part one and part two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after that is Stave, which is a collaboration of that sound with the Americana folk, which
Yeah.
is, that's my sound. It's just what
Yeah.
my heart was telling me to go. That's the direction I choose to go.
Yeah.
Do you hear the vacuum in the background?
It's okay, don't worry. It's gonna be there will be the music in the background.
Okay.
I will put, of course, if it's not a problem as background, the album, not Nordlinge, because it's like my journey that I did. So I want people listening to it as well.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, and what about, I mean, the current project? Because of course the last one was released in 2019. There's something going out right now, or like working?
The last album was released. Stave was released in
2021, yeah.
Yes, and then before that, Norliege was in 2019.
Yeah.
And then 2017 was Uthling, and then 2016 was Hall of the Wolf. But it got re-released because I got picked up
Okay.
right in the beginning of Uthling Howl by
Okay.
Eisenwald in Germany.
Okay.
And they I've been with Eisenwald since 2017, which they're a great label. They take care of a lot of stuff. They just have a lot of bands like Guada and
Yeah, well, yeah. It's,
Panzer
yes,
Faust and stuff.
yes. And but about new, like say, we like new material. You're working on something new at the moment.
So during COVID, when COVID first happened, of course, a lot of people were stuck in their houses all over the place.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah,
was like,
true.
I'm gonna record a bunch of cover songs. So I do Danzig, Rolling Stones.
What?
I do Agents of Oblivion, a Dax Riggs song. I do I do a Johnny Cash song, which I have a special guest star on that song that sings on it. I don't
Can I ask
really
which song of Johnny Cash you pick up? Because I'm a huge fan of Johnny Cash as well. So which song you pick up of
Ain't
cover?
No Graves.
Amazing. It's it's like that for me. That's the base of the music itself. So if he wasn't there to play, a lot of music that we have today wouldn't have existed. It was like
I literally tried to do vocals for it, and it didn't sound good. And I was just like,
it was amazing.
I can't do this. I hear King Dude singing this song.
Yeah, oh my God, King Dude. It's the first time that I'm speaking an interview with someone about King Dude. Since then, no one knows it in Europe, King Dude. But it's amazing. Yeah.
So I had TJ. I contacted TJ King Dude to do vocals for it, and he did. And it sounds pretty good.
Amazing. It's a really particular sound as well, like that I can not even explain which sound he has because it's super particular. Yeah. So there are schemings, all this new stuff. So I want to ask you how it's the folk itself, the music scene of folk, say Nordic folk rock, whatever, lived in United States. So in the other hemisphere, how is it?
So I like in the Appalachian area where
it's beautiful.
I don't live in Appalachia, but I live like an hour away from the starting of it.
Yeah.
In both directions.
Yes.
So to my east, about an hour away, is Pennsylvania, which
Okay.
is the hills of Pennsylvania, the foothills, and then an hour and 15 minutes south of me is Appalachia, Ohio. It's when Ohio starts to get hilly. It's near
That's weird.
Hocking Hills and stuff like that. And so the folklore is pretty old folklore, not as old as like Italy or
Yeah.
and Europe and stuff. But I mean, it has all the. It's like a collaboration of African with Irish and Native
Wow.
American, and it has all this really deep folklore, and the Celtic folklore really intertwines with the Native American folklore and creates its own legends, like and all this other stuff, like
That's really
yeah,
interesting. I've heard
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
So it just has that, there's a lot of heartache because of Trail of Tears and all that other stuff that
Yeah.
happened, and there's the slavery movement that happened.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conjure that came from the African
Yeah.
side of that. It's just it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's
There's some, for example, some books or somewhere that people can like look more about
yeah.
that. If you
There's
know, if you can want to say more, because for example, for me, it's something new, but which really is really interesting.
Cunning. Uh,
Okay.
I forget who that's by, but it's a good one too. I'm gonna look on my phone for a second because I have
Yeah.
books and
Sure.
I can't
Sure. Sure.
remember what it.
Yeah, because it's really interesting to people to. I mean, it's, if they just dig in other type of folklore. Because, for example, I'm in Sicily. We have a normal different folklore than the other part of the world.
There, there's backwoods witchcraft, which is good.
Okay.
I read that twice. Trying to. There's other books too. I don't know why it's not mentioning any other books. Cherokee Irish. Yeah, it's crazy. Where is? There it is. Southern Cunning. Sorry, by
Okay.
Aaron Oberon.
Okay.
It's folklore witchcraft in the American South,
Oh wow.
and
That's
there's a bunch of Native American spirituality books like Animal Talk and stuff that's pretty
yeah.
interesting.
That's,
Skinwalkers and the like folklores about skinwalkers and
yeah.
different animal.
You think that yeah, and because as well, like the you can say the scenario that the nature is different as well. Like
Yeah,
in the north is more like cold, and I don't know, this is as well different, like as well, like for example all the animals living there, the wild animals, then maybe you can find that lucky as well.
yeah,
So I think these play as well a role in the music, in the how you perceive the spirituality.
yeah,
And I mean, America is wilder, that's for sure. United States is more, the nature is more huge. I mean, it's like you can lose it there. So it's like
yeah.
yeah, it's like
In Europe you have your built-up areas and you have your mountainous areas as well. Like you
yeah.
guys, what is it? The Alps look gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, but there are more like you can say there are a small version of what you have there. Like
Okay,
small
but it's like cramped. It's crammed, right?
yeah,
It's
well, I
like
mean,
all
imagine
crammed in
here,
Switzerland and Italy.
yeah,
Yeah,
imagine here in Sicily, it's all smash up.
I got you. You're
Yeah,
in Sicily,
yeah, exactly. I'm in Sicily.
so so you're on a volcano. It's a volcanic
Under,
island.
yeah, mainly we have a lot of volcanoes for
Yeah.
sure. Underwater islands with volcano on the island itself, on the opposite side. Yeah, completely
Okay.
the opposite side. Yeah, we have everything. But if you want to have a walk in the nature, believe me, you have to take the car and drive 1 hour and a half before you get the free trip.
I
So
gotcha.
it's horrible. If you want to meditate, you have to plan days before, or you
It
can do, yeah.
it's pretty warm in Sicily right
Oh
now, isn't
yes,
it? Yeah,
20 to 25, 24 degrees right now.
okay. Yeah,
And
it's
how's there?
it's pretty warm.
Yeah,
In
I think so.
Fahrenheit, it's what is it? It's cooling off today. It's 75 degrees
So
Fahrenheit. So
yeah, I
Why
think
isn't it saying something?
kind of similar home to like on 20.
I think it's something like that. It's supposed to. It's been in the 80s like the past week, but it's supposed to get thunderstorms today, so it's supposed to go down to like the high 60s.
Yeah, I mean, there the weather changes like really quickly. Here, you can start to go to plan to the beach because it's not gonna change. If you want to go into the
Gotcha.
nature today, you can forget because everything starts to be dry and that on fire. We have a lot of fire
Yeah.
in the summer, so that the nature die in the summer completely.
Yeah.
No rivers, they get dry because we live of snow. So if there is no snow or raining like continually, there is no completely way of seeing even a river. Lakes they became small, so basically we
So
can only go. Yeah, it's horrible in the summer here.
it's kind of like New Mexico, I think. I've never
Exactly,
been to New Mexico, but it's
exactly. It's like
drier, but it has some green, but it's barely
mm,
gets any rain. But when it gets rain, it pours and then stops
yeah.
forever, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not always like. I mean, you can't always find the green here.
Yeah.
It's you have to be really lucky or to be in September. That's why in the summer, every time I went like outside of Sicily.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yes. And speaking about influences, in your personal journey, like because we speak a lot about Ozzy and Jupiter influences, but in your musical journey, which bands or music influenced mostly?
Uh, Towns Van Zant is a big
Okay,
influence. For the singer songwriter part.
okay,
Ulver, Goblin,
okay, yeah.
Dead Can Dance, Dax Riggs. I've listened to his stuff for a long time, even though it's death rock stuff. Um,
Yeah.
I wish he made an acoustic album. It'd be golden. And
Um,
Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac's a big
oh,
influence.
Flip,
Yeah, it's just his guitar swells and his music
yeah,
writing is
amazing.
just kind of enchanting.
No, that's
Um,
amazing band as well. Fleetwood Mac. I mean, it's
yeah,
like the mysticism in music as well.
yeah. And
And
then
if yeah,
of the One and the Moon's been a influence too. Kim's work's pretty well structured,
yeah.
so it's
Uh,
I like
u-
that.
Usually I give always this question, like if you want, like, for example, to pick up 5 albums or play a festival, which band would you put in? I would just like to ask you, just combine this question and say, if you have to choose 3 bands to play to go on a tour with,
For
which band you would choose?
so 3 bands.
So let's say you can choose which band, even not from today, it can be even band from the 60s, 50s,
Oh man.
and so on. Yeah, it's not easy. The first time I did it, so just came to my mind.
So there's a big list of bands. Man. So of the One and the Moon, at definitely would be one. Uh, I could pick like Fleetwood Mac or something like that, but it's like
Okay,
I maybe Dead Can Dance more.
okay, that's
Uh,
one.
uh, of the One and the Moon, Dead Can Dance.
Okay,
Man, my whole CD collection. Typo Negative.
okay, perfect. So
That's
yeah,
my
yeah,
favorite band. That's been my favorite band since I was 12.
yeah.
So
He played a big role, and especially for regarding his vocals, his tone of voice when he was singing
yeah.
was amazing. Peter Steele was amazing as well. Yeah, and if you would like to today give an advice to these people that are like waiting for this spiritual awakening, what would you like to say to them?
If they were what again? I'm sorry.
These people like like waiting, or maybe they are not able to get into the spirituality. Like instead, say spiritual awakening is more technical. You have to be expert in the
Gotcha.
meditation, like just to start. Like I want to have more spirituality. So would would be your advice to give to them?
Everybody finds their own niche. Just do your research and just ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Okay.
Just do your research. Um, not one person is right. Just find your
Yeah.
own path. Um,
Yeah. You're right.
things are gonna help you on your way. Just read and figure it out. It's not everybody's gifted enough to where it just comes to them. Like I gotta do research and stuff. Like
Mm,
you get these feelings in the bottom of your stomach and your heart, and you get goosebumps some moments. That's nature's way of telling you something's moving
yeah.
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're right. And regarding the future project about lives, you have some live planned, like some gigs, some tour, something around.
so I was supposed to do a West Coast thing. With I was gonna actually do a few. Well, I was supposed to play Litha Cascadia this year, and I was gonna do a few dates with Ariel Rune, which is
Okay.
which he does great music too. Um, he does work with Bell Witch as well, doing the
Okay.
singing stuff, and I had to cancel that because my mother-in-law is getting knee surgery this year, and there's some stuff I need to
Okay.
do home-wise to prepare for that, so I had to postpone that until the year after, and
Okay.
I'm also hoping to get to Europe the year
Yeah.
after as well. So, but just keep your fingers crossed. Every time we have something booked, something comes up to where it doesn't look like a good idea,
Yeah, and
or
of
it's
course we didn't have before lucky years with COVID and so on. So now it's a little bit, moving slow. I mean,
yeah,
it's moving pretty fastly, as I saw, because there are a lot of festivals there. But as well, it's
yeah,
always you see some things canceled, another one, and then put it back because there is still this uncertainty in all around the world because it's the first year that we are not free, of course, but it's the first year that we are going again to play live. I mean, people bands are going. I mean, we are a little bit more.
we
So
we had something put
yeah,
together for this past April for Europe, but we didn't announce anything because we were seeing how everything was going, and
yeah,
it literally as soon as January came across, we're like, okay, what's it look like for that time period? And it's like,
yeah,
we don't know what's going on. You could get stuck in this area or do that. And I'm like,
yeah. It's
yeah,
true.
let's just that's because I'm also into snake. Like I have
Yeah,
11 snakes. I have
yeah.
5 boas, and
Amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm a snake
Reptilian.
guy, and not just reptiles. All like I like all animals, but snakes are really rewarding, and
Yeah,
I like taking care of them for some reason. They're a new thing that's helping me a lot. So
yeah. It's a. No, no, I agree with you. I like this type of animals as well, like reptilian, like as well. I like as well, like scorpions, and things.
yeah,
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
you guys
I'm a
have
Scorpio. That's what well, maybe one of these reasons why for that.
you have scorpions in Sicily.
Yeah, there are small. Not, I think, not so much poisonous. So maybe smaller,
Oh,
just here and there. Yeah, but
okay.
we have like snakes. We don't have a lot of snakes. It's mainly are river snake, which are not poisonous. But as well, some poison you can find it near the mountains as always, like hidden under the rocks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Usually in the
Like
summer.
rattlesnakes.
Viper, I think we have mainly. Yeah, Viper.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that's it. For the rest, we are like a safe country. There's nothing weird here. The people probably.
Yeah, that's funny. Well,
Yeah.
it's not funny, but I mean, at least,
Mm,
yeah. Well, you guys get very hot climate, so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
So before just ending the interview, just if you want to make like a greetings to all the people seeing this interview, and especially the fan of Walls in Jupiter, because there are a lot outside. I'm discovering that.
yeah. Well, as we so yeah, the Uthling Howl and Nordliege are basically concept albums, and then
Yeah.
after that, I'm trying to collaborate my own sound with the Americana. So
Okay.
it actually opens up more doors for me to perform live, and
Which is amazing.
that's also more the way my spirituality's taken me. So,
Okay.
uh, with the mixture of the spirituality and the singer-songwriter, it's kind of like a storyteller.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, and
So yeah.
I am working on new like Ocean and Jupiter at the moment. and I have a lot of guest stars for what's going to come after the cover
Let's
album.
wait. Let's wait for to see who there is there. So what can I say? Thank you so much, Sean, for the interview, and it was really a pleasure. And thanks for the music you create because it's a journey itself, and for me it helped a lot.
Well,
So
thank you. I appreciate you.
yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
really a
All
pleasure,
you.
and looking forward for the new material. And of course, I'll send you everything, the link of the interview, and maybe ask you even some advices to which song you use it or not. So thank you so much, Sean, and hope to see you in some live in Europe then.
Yeah, we'll count down the days.
Yeah.
So,
So thank you so much, Sean.
thank you.
Thank you.
I call to the forest one, and these hills have many names, to wash my sorrows away, and the old ones speak through the trees. To leave the past behind and bind this will of mine.